Well, it's all right now because anything you do.
I don't always like videos, but when I do, I always prefer Road Dog Crypto. Trade wisely, my friends.
Gary was a man who thought he could do crypto, sharing at the FCC.
You lock what you see. Well then, please subscribe, eh? And if you like what I do, then smash that like button too. Are you trying to find financial freedom by trading and investing in them there cryptocurrencies? But are you having a hard time being profitable and making them winning trades? Well, you can get all that knowledge and a whole lot more just by watching the Crypto Chart School playlist over here at the Road Dog Crypto channel. You just go right down here where it says Chart School, you click that full playlist, and voila! They got all the knowledge right there.
Just pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show you. You're my one and only, like I told you. I'll be there. And if you get blue, I got the loving for you. Yeah, I'll be there. Your heartache, it kills me, but your loving, it thrills me. I'll be there. Whatever tomorrow may hold, I know.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
You're the one for me, child. And when we're together, my love, you give me hope and a way to cope.
Our mic is up. Cool. Man, that was nerve-wracking.
I'll be there. Ooh,
We're getting ready to start, folks.
I'll be there.
Welcome to the late night Crypto Show with Road Dogg. That'd be me. My name's Lane. Welcome to the stream. Still getting situated here. Just bear with me just a few more seconds here. Let me switch over to something just a little bit. I have nothing. I guess we'll watch this just one more time.
Was all right now because anything you do.
I don't always like videos, but when I do, I always prefer Road Dogg Crypto. Trade wisely, my friends.
Gary was a man who thought he could do crypto, sharing at the SEC.
All right, I think we're ready. Oh, crap, what was that?
You lock what you see.
Almost ready.
Then please subscribe, eh? And if you like what we do, then smash that like button too. Are you trying to find financial freedom
All
by
right.
trading and investing in them there cryptocurrencies?
I don't
Or
have
you having a hard
anything
time being
on
profitable
my
making them
monitor.
winning
That
trades?
kinda
Well, you
messes
can
with
get
me
all
just a
that
little bit.
knowledge and a whole lot more just by watching the Crypto Chart School playlist over here at the Road Dogg Crypto channel.
All right, guys, we're getting ready to
Just go
start.
right down here where it says
Let's
Chart
find out
School,
how
you
to
click
shut
that
this little
full
baby
playlist,
down and get some
voila.
music going
They got
for us.
all the knowledge right there.
What's this button do? All right, guys, welcome to the stream. We got Scribe. Hey, hey. We got Not a Member. Welcome, guys. Glad you guys can be here. Oh, checking out Crypto Bubbles. I swear, I just looked over here and it was all red. Now it's all green again. Is it playing with me or do we just have a sudden bump up? It has been a wild day. Checking out Bitcoin here on the 6 hour. You can go to the 4 hour. Last stream I was doing, we were talking about the possibility of getting rejected up here at this pattern because we couldn't break it back into this rising broadening wedge pattern that I've been following. Because we got rejected here and got rejected again, and we're also in a falling channel too, right? So we couldn't break to the top of that. Started coming down a little bit. I was really looking to see if we would hold this level. And it was starting to look like maybe we could be working on the triple bottom scenario. And then, of course, today happened. And we came back to our little buy zone. And, you know, this was the area I was looking for. If it fails, that we come back to. Oh, so close. I mean,
Just right, almost just right there. Just right there.
but I picked up some. And now it looks like we, you know, got a little rejection going on right here on the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. So, is this bullish? Is this bearish? Been crazy things going on today with the SEC, but I spent my morning watching the Agriculture Committee talk about digital assets because they are the ones that are over the CFTC, which are actually technically over Bitcoin, and they claimed Ethereum today. Because where Gary Gensler could not answer that question, fumbled around like an idiot, I cannot address any single. They said it repeatedly. We think Ethereum qualifies as a commodity. And so it's going to be a very, very interesting thing. Now, they're not trying to go to war with each other, no, but they made it very clear they don't like what Gary Gensler is doing. And that's a good thing. Gary's response was to try to freeze Binance assets. Gary should have been watching that hearing. It was very interesting. They had the guy from Robinhood, the legal chief officer over there, who was also, I believe, a CFTC commissioner. They also had, I think it was the chief compliance officer from Robinhood was that. They also had Coinbase's own top legal guy that was there. And then they had two former CFTC, I think both of them, a chairman and maybe a commissioner. One of them was a commissioner. Two of them were past chairman. Very interesting. And before that, before they got all started, they had the actual chairman now in the first half of the section. So we had 5 witnesses today total. It was very interesting. But a step in the right direction. They're actually making sense. That committee functioned very well. Is very promising to see what they were doing and see what they were saying, because they laid it out like it is. And so it's a very hopeful step that we're getting some common sense regulation, since they see that the rest of the world is taking this and running with it and starting to make us look like idiots. Congress is wise enough to that. Unfortunately, Mr. Gensler is not. So how's everybody doing tonight? And make sure this mic is just not too high there. It seems to be clipping just a little bit. Music sounds loud on my headphones. Let me know if it's too loud for you guys. If you can hear me all right. If there's any kind of problems there. But now looking at the 1 hour for Bitcoin, we just lost that 200 moving average. Now we could gain that back in the hour. Not a big deal. But, you know, if we come down, next stop, 26,721, okay? Not a big deal. We busted through this red Ichimoku cloud. Got a little green over here. It's looking promising. Looking promising to me. Let me check out another chart. So this is Bitcoin, but this is the KuCoin chart. This is actually the one I use when I'm trading. And look at this bottom, man. We got 2 wicks there. That's a pin bottom. Kind of like a why is this escaping me now? Kind of like a tweezer bottom, except for we got wicks instead of candle bodies. That's bullish. That's a lot of buy pressure. Once we hit down around 25.4, man, people were there waiting to buy this stuff up. Probably the same people who were trying to get it down there in the first place. Usually the way that goes, right? Because they never let a crisis go to waste. Remember that. When all the FUD comes out, those market makers are going to run with it. But we got kind of a double bottom scenario there. Then we got a lower low. We really got to make it up here about 28,435. We want to make sure that we put in a higher high. Otherwise, we're coming back down. It's just as simple as that. I don't know how any other way to put it. But it looks like we've got some good signs, a good chance to do that. I really like what I see here with these pin bottoms there. So we just got to break through this red Ichimoku cloud. Just got to quit doing all this coming down, getting thinner thing. This, look with me here on Market Cipher. This is what we call a trigger wave. Now, this is when crypto faces main strategies. When you form a base here, price comes up and then it comes back. And a lot of times this is a little smaller. This one's a little bit deeper, but it still qualifies. Kind of makes a trigger. And usually that leads to a nice move. I mean, the kind of move that you want to be in. It's a green dot on the daily for Market Cipher on a trigger wave. MACD's got a bullish cross just now starting. And our histogram is just now getting into the blue. When we take a look at the RSI, we're above the median line right there. Excellent. Now, what can we see on a bigger picture here when it comes to the RSI? Because we can chart this just like anything else. So we can make it up here and go higher. That is excellent. I'm just looking to see for some trends here. This would be the next area I look for right here. RSI coming up to about 52 to see if we can get past that point. Now, if we break out past that, we're going up some more. So I'll keep watching that idea. Not a member says, I am wondering why Matic is so slow to recover. Matic has been quite the snail lately, and I would think a lot of it probably has to do with its huge market cap, because it's going to be harder to move that little guy. But let's see how it's holding up fundamentally here. I've got a bag, I've had a bag of that stashed for the side, and I've just not been gung-ho to add to it. And it was right around these areas, I think, where I was accumulating. But it is a slow mover, basically. Looking at 10 billion, and that's part of the issue there. There's so many dang coins, and I'm trying to steer clear of projects that have over a billion. I've got a few exceptions that I'm working with, but this is kind of what you get going on when you start getting way up there. It's kind of the same thing with ADA. It has even a lot more than this. I think about 4 times as many as this. You know, and XRP is another one with a huge maximum supply. I mean, you get low numbers, and they kind of like to hang around there. Market cap is 7.5 billion. That's huge. Huge. I mean, can it double? Well, yeah, we can see that. Is it going to 100x? Doubt that very seriously. Or not in the immediate term. That would be a hard feat to do. So while I've got some of this, I'm not really focusing on it because, I mean, it will get gains definitely, but I'm looking for them bigger gains, right? Because I'm trying to join that millionaire club this time around. But that's just my opinion on one main reason why we're not seeing as much out of that. And now we got competition for Polygon, right? Arbitron, which has an enormous supply too. SWI, enormous supply too. All these layer 2s coming out. The good thing I can say about Matic, this is true, the circulating supply, almost all the Matic's out there, right? It's almost all out there. So that's a good sign. But that again adds to our problem with this $7 billion market cap. But I mean, it will go up. Its all-time high was $2.92. So buying it at 80 cents, yeah, you know, hold it for a long time just to get 3 or 4x possible, or maybe a little bit more. But we can definitely look at the chart, and that should give us a better idea. Let's do that. I need to take a look at Total 2 real quick too, but we'll take a look at Matic. No, we probably already got something on KuCoin. And there we are. Okay, so it's at a good area, retesting this trend line here. Now, it is technically below it, so that could be a sign that we flip that from support into resistance. So we've got to give it some time. It looks like it could possibly bounce up, but some of these indicators, like the MACD on the daily, looks like it's got some further downside to go. Looks like I do have a couple of targets there from some previous analysis, and 77.45 is a target that it has not yet reached. But yet, if we break this trend line, man, I'm looking for, realistically, we should get lower prices than this. To me, this pattern, when I zoom out, that's a similar pattern that we've been into, as a rising, broadening wedge. And the good news about it is that when they break down, they don't break down as far. And I think I still got this guy, though. This is the new guy. This is the new Bitcoin formation. Technically, we haven't even talked about that. And this is the previous one, which is what we're looking at there. These break downward 52% of the time. And when it does break down, the percentage meeting the price target, it means when you take your measured move and put it down there, for a downward breakout, it reaches that target, well, 71% of the time. Or a 71%. And basically this let's go ahead and take our measurement. There's some different ways to do this. Personally, when I do these, I usually go right here and bring that to the downside. And that could bring us back down to, remember, we got a 71% chance of meeting these things. Let's do a little adjustment here. And that should put us somewhere around possibly 40 cents. Possibility it could come down there if it doesn't hold this trend line. Our moving averages are looking a little rough there. We've already had the, and this is on the daily, 50 crossing the 200. That's the death cross. Lagging indicator, just showing all this downside that we had before, showing up there. And we're below every moving average I have on here. So good sign that we can see some more downward action out of this. Breaking that trend line is not a good thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this about 40 cents just as a possibility. Will it reach down there? I don't know. These patterns are a little wishy-washy. You know, it may only come back to this area right here around 62 to retest this area. And a lot of these rising broadening patterns, kind of like your rising wedge, a lot of times they break down to the point of entry, and you can take a measured move, and it is a little bit different from this other pattern, and we'll look at that in a second on Bitcoin. But essentially what these do is form that other pattern, and then that becomes a lot more bullish. So it'd be worth watching Matic very closely. Now, Matic breaks back into this pattern, retests that. Oh, that's a great sign. But I'm not seeing signs that it wants to do that other than their stochastics being down very low on the daily there. But, you know, they can stay there for a week or two. So at the moment on the daily, I don't see much telling me that Matic's getting an upswing. Now coming back to Bitcoin, and there's the open and broadening pattern we're talking about, right? The ascending, it's a bearish megaphone. And now, if we wanted to, how can we do this? Let's do no, that did not work. Back that guy up. So we make a copy of him. Throw, let's just make him. It's hard to find a color that I can see that stands out. So I'm going to make it orange. But now we technically have this pattern. Now, this one's a little bit more bullish. This one only has like a 52% chance to break to the downside. Well, I'm telling you wrong. That would make it a 40% chance to break to the downside. It has a 60% chance to break to the upside. I'm starting to get my patterns confused in my head here, but they do look a lot alike. So we have found support. We now have, I mean, counting the double taps that we got out of a lot of these, that one too, but there's 2 touches here, a touch there, 2 touches there. You can count that as one, just depending on what time frame. We got at least 3 touches here We got several touches up through here. It makes it a valid pattern. This was at first. We had a retest. So basically, this one is kind of, you know, pretty much played his game. So I'm going to switch that one over to a dotted line. But yet this trend line is still very valid and will show a lot of resistance. So we've got to break above it. And also these dotted orange lines coming down, that's really the main pattern that we're kind of in now. I mean, you can play this either way, but just zooming out and taking an overall look, we're still in this broadening pattern. So that's what I got my eye on. The trick to playing these is to look for partial inclines and declines. And so I'm looking about this area about where we should be, where this thing crosses over, these two lines intersect and around this moving average and everything. About 28, what is that, 28.1, 28.2 in that area. If we can get above that, a lot better. But look at this cool trigger wave that we've got here on the daily. I think we're going to see something cool out of this. They usually play out extremely well. There is some bullish divergence going on right before it, and then the trigger wave. And especially on the smaller time frames, I mean, these suckers pop. Now, I'm not trying to get overly bullish, but that's just a good pattern to trade on the VMC and market cipher indicators. So currently we've topped out, coming in a little bit down, but it's looking fairly healthy. We're starting to gain more ground and starting to get back above that 200 moving average. So me likes it. Taking a look at Ethereum, looking on very, very similar, right? Zoom out a little bit to a higher time frame on Ethereum. Oh, man, I wish I had some limit orders set down in these areas, but I wasn't even thinking about Ethereum because I rarely think about Ethereum, really. I don't use Ethereum. However, I still want it because since it went deflationary, I like it better. But man, they've still got some issues. There's scalability issues and that gas fee. But it's cornered the market. So still kind of looking at basically a bullish megaphone type pattern out of this too, a broadening pattern. And that is on the 4 hour. On the daily, we just got some weird price action there. Now zooming out is where it starts to make a little bit more sense. We were kind of symmetrical triangle, broke to the upside, got up here right around this area, just a little bit above, basically right to the top. It did what it's supposed to do as far as triangles go. When you're hoping to find a sell point, came right back to the start point and got rejected. And now we're going in for a throwback or a retest. So chances are this rising broadening pattern is bearish and will break to the downside. Could. Currently it's looking pretty nice as far as the moving averages go. Although there are indicators showing, you know, that it needs a little bit of a correction. But it looks like it's still got maybe just a little bit more strength. So something to keep our eye on is if we've been holding this level right here, and we should probably just go ahead and see, that's lining up. That's odd. I'd figure that it would respect this candle a little bit more, but it seems like we've got a lot of strength right here. I'm gonna mark that, and then we can, and now this one starts making a little bit more sense there. So this is support. This looks like this is actual support resistance flip area right here. Let's color that different somehow. That's an actual SR flip. But currently Ethereum's finding support here around just a little under 1800, about 1791. Hey, that's cool. We got the kind of a pin bottom there too, with those two giant wicks. Now normally I like to see them line up just a little bit better in the same area, but hey, it still represents a lot of buy pressure coming in that push the price up. Good thing, right? So currently price is above the 9 on the daily, so I take that as a good sign. So personally, I kind of like what I'm seeing here, especially being above the 200. I just wish I added a little bit more to my backs, but I can tell you what I did get. Javid is in the house. Hey, Javid. Glad to have you here. One thing I did pick up on this drop. Now, tell me, what did you guys pick up? Did you find any good deals on anything that you've been really kind of been after? Did you dare to buy that red candle coming down? Because, you know, a lot of times that's a good time to buy. But I like Decred. That's one that I do like a lot. Now, why is it not showing up here? I'm in crypto, right? Do I have to spell it out? So the problem is on KuCoin, they only trade it against Ethereum and Bitcoin. They don't have, you can't buy it with Tether or anything, right? So to chart it to the dollar, I guess I have to come over here to Binance. This coin is at a juicy price for me right now, $13.89, and this makes me flash back to the last bear market when this coin was also down around $13.89, and I bought all that I could, which was not very much. But I like it because there's 21 million of it. It was a proof, it's a mining coin, and also it's a hybrid coin, and also proof of stake. And I think the proof of stake is starting to win out over the miners now. Last I was reading about it, I don't know about that, or how that will affect things. And it looks like a lot of the rewards are starting to go to the proof of stake validators more so than the miners. So they may be phasing out mining. I don't know. I'll have to check in on that. But this guy went up to like $250, right? And here's where we were, right? 11, and we did this nice little rounding bottom shape, and it started coming up through here, and I don't want to pay over $20, but I don't want to pay past $21, so I quit messing with it. And then that sucker just went on fire. It went on fire, just straight up $250. And this little guy, I believe, can honestly do this again. And 21 million limited supply. It's a really cool project, and definitely, is true to the crypto ethos. It's in a very shallow falling wedge, which those are the stronger ones to break out. Bukowski talks about these wedges like this. The steeper ones, well, and this is a good example. Here's a steep one, right? And when it breaks out, it can be a little lackluster. You're not going to get as much from it, right? But he likens these ones that are shallow like this to a diving board. And the longer they go out, the more energy they get behind them. It means that this little guy will give us a lot more bounce than this falling, or the steep one did. They play out a lot better. So I would not be surprised if that didn't propel us back up to this area about $48 fairly quickly once it does get a breakout. But it's just one that is on my radar, especially if it's hitting all these bottom prices. I'm actually buying this with Bitcoin because on the exchange that I have the majority of my funds on, that's all I can trade it on. And I picked up odds and ends here like MexC or wherever. But just one that's on my radar, one of my long-term holds, and one that I was able to accumulate more at these cool prices. And if it goes back up near $200 again, I'll be very, very happy. Did I do Bitcoin dominance? I have not, but let's do that. I meant to do total 2 too. I don't know why I'm looking it up. I've got it right over here. So dominance also in one of these patterns, and I'm taking a closer look at it here. And I may redefine this because on the daily, I want some accurate trend lines. Now, when you switch around from time frame to time frame, you can see that your lines don't always match up. But I definitely want to be accurate on this. And cut through wicks, I do not ever want to cut through candle bodies. unless it's like a bull trap or bear trap, and even then that can be iffy to look at if it's in the middle somewhere. Okay, so we're still in this ascending, broadening pattern. Not like this one, but like this one. Not like that one. That's Elliott wave. Where did you go? This guy. But it's not as intense as this one. It's not as ascending at such a sharp angle there. It's a little bit more shallow. And we're just looking at this area right here about 48. It looks like it wants to go up a little bit, but this I find interesting that we got a little bit of red over here on Ichimoku. That could be an indication this will not go up very much higher, come back down, and we'll get under the red cloud. I want to see how that kind of works out. This is kind of my support resistance area I'm looking at, and we're above it right now. So right now we're looking a little bullish on Bitcoin dominance. So a lot of money still going into Bitcoin, right? And this is the daily. Indicators are looking pretty strong. MACD looks pretty strong for it. Looks like it's starting to get a little bit bullish there on Bitcoin dominance. Now this will affect our altcoins. We had a nice little pump out of some of them today. A nice little comeback. And buying at those bottoms gave you a quick profit for day traders or anyone lucky enough to catch those. Let's take a look at total 2. Now this has been the tricky one that I've been keeping my eye on, and it's first started out flirting with this trend line and come below it, come above it. Now we're below it again, so I'm losing my confidence in this on the idea that this pattern, this inverted head and shoulders idea, is starting to come closer and closer to being invalidated. It will technically be invalidated once price comes down below this low here, this right shoulder, and it looks like it, it's got a good chance to probably do that. I'd hate to see this. That was a decent inverted head and shoulders. That was some good hopium there. The other thing, I don't want to take that off. I want to keep that there, but I want to zoom out a little bit. Now, this was, I got an Adam and Eve double bottom there we were looking at. This is basically a falling wedge. If you discount this V-shaped kind of recovery idea, this big drop that we had there, but you include that, and then that becomes more like an descending triangle that broke to the upside. But this trend line, it broke out, got retested on this, what we think is a right shoulder, broke to the upside. Now we're coming back down. Difficult read, but price is finding support there, which is lining up with this area over here and this area over here. So these areas are showing as a good support area. Let's make that little dude green. So if we can hold above this area, 550 billion, we still got a shot. Price can go kind of wiggle woggle sideways or whatever before we break up, and the cloud is getting thicker. So those are some good signs, but I just wish it hadn't broken this trend line. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. It's a sign of weakness. So the good things we got going for us is above the 200, holding that. Seems to be holding that fairly well, and that's good with those wicks being there. Maybe, just maybe, we're getting ready to print another trigger wave here like that we've seen on Bitcoin. Now that would be good. I would like to see that. But we still need to see Bitcoin dominance here come down if we really want to get the most out of our alts. So interesting to watch that. The way the cloud is right there doesn't give me a lot of confidence that this is going to go up. That's showing some weakness there to me. Now there are a couple other things that it could do. If we start getting some more green over here after this little patch of red, that could be bullish. But we did break to the bottom of this cloud, and technically that's bearish, even though we are kind of coming up, and price usually doesn't get kicked up out of the green cloud. It can happen, but most likely it usually comes to the downside. Can't depend on the cloud necessarily in this situation to predict where price is going to go. I would much rather look at my moving averages to guide me on that. And right now we're above the 50, but it's got a lot of work to pull these moving averages back into a bullish direction there. It's got a good chance that we could still get rejected here. So that's what I'm watching as far as that. It's going to take a couple of days to kind of figure all this stuff out. And who knows, we might actually get like a bullish Friday coming this week. Just have to keep our eyes open for that. One that I do want to keep an eye on is Total 3. Now this is altcoins minus Ethereum, and it's different. You would think that it would be kind of similar, maybe kind of with the inverted head and shoulder. It just didn't really form it out as well. But it did form the falling wedge, and you know, we're coming back for looks like a third retest of this trend line here, and it found support. So to me, that's a little bullish, and we got some bullish divergence there and could be getting a trigger wave. But we are under the 200 moving averages there, and the 50 starting to close in on it. So we need to see something quick happen here. And maybe it can. Maybe it can. This is usually when I really like to look more on the weekly. When the daily doesn't look as hot or giving me as good of answers, I like to look on the weekly. And I don't like what I'm seeing right now with the moving averages at all. Because we zoom in on the weekly, 50 moving average crossed over. That's the death cross, and the 9 is crossed over at the same time. That, to me, that is very bearish. MACD has started to come to the downside there. Stochastics are to the bottom, and looks likely that they may get pinned there. So the weekly is looking a little bit bearish for me on Total 3 for altcoins, and I'm not excited about that. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin dominance on the weekly. The weekly, this takes longer to play out, but it does give you an idea. And so like a week ago or days and days ago, we're talking about coming down to 25,000, and then today it surprised everybody. But the weekly charts were showing indications that, you know, that's had a real good chance to happen about it. We talked about it. So it's always good to zoom out, because I think these bigger time frames can just make you a little bit more accurate for where action is going to, price action will go. So best I can see there is bearish breakout of a bearish pattern on the weekly for Bitcoin dominance to come down, and it is below the 9 on the weekly. Now money flow is coming in through the green, and so that means usually as long as that's in the green, that whatever bad or whatever downside we have will not be as bad. So maybe we'll only drop like 1% on Bitcoin dominance, but any point that we drop on Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin is just going sideways is good. And overall, when you're on the weekly, you can zoom out and you can see where Bitcoin dominance has been over, gosh, you know, this past couple years in this range and getting rejected at the top. So if you ask me, I think it's got a good chance to top out here, get rejected, and come on down. Well, my biggest fear, what could happen is if something bullish comes up and then Bitcoin dominance takes off, great for Bitcoin. The whole show would be on Bitcoin. It'd be like something like everybody's starting to get interested in Bitcoin and start buying it, countries, whatever, jumping in. That could be a scenario that would put us in, you know, make Bitcoin dominance skyrocket and Bitcoin skyrocket, but that would kill altcoins. I mean, you'd see some benefit, but Bitcoin would be outperforming all the alts, so why be in the alts at that point? But at this point, it looks like we may get the rejection here, you know? Maybe get a nice little leg down, you know, over these next few months. That would be great, because that would mean our altcoins will start outperforming Bitcoin. And I've been waiting on that because I'm trying to stack my sats. Now, there are some coins that take a look at. I'm having to get on my phone here because I haven't got my computer yet set up to show these. I got a little watch list going on here that of all the coins that is up for the year, I put them all into a watch list. I mean, across the whole top 1,000. And there's some on here that I have not heard about that sound very interesting to me. And some of you guys not know what some of these are. The one is called Pendle, and I know nothing about this, but I want to see. It's a coin of strength, so I want to see if it's got some more upside potential. Is this all you can give me? Let's try. Okay, here we go. Now that's got a lot more history. So this is Pendle, nice rounded bottom, flagging out. Call these scallops. Those cup and handles are continuation patterns, not bottom patterns. That's just my little kink. Trying to clear up some misinformation out there. Now support resistance. This area there, flip, could have you. Some people might see this as a possible. It's a very bad head and shoulder. And I guess on technical level, that would be true. It does have a neckline. If it's got a neckline, then, you know, it can be a head and shoulder. You know, that's a weird looking one. But in that scenario, that could take this up to $1.05. So it could possibly 2x from where it is now. I know nothing about this. It does look like it is flagging out and has a breakout with no volume, so I would not trust that breakout. Although this is on the weekly though. There's some very bullish signs here though. I need to get more on the daily, get something a little bit more okay, now there's still no volume on this breakout though. No volume on that breakout. Parabolic move to the upside, sideways and down. So with a lack of volume there, I think it's got a very good chance to come back down to these areas about 37 cents and retest these areas. I know nothing about this project though. Let's find out, what is this guy? Does this one have potential? I know for the year it is up 1,000%. And I want to see what this guy does. Maximum supply is 231 million. Okay, that's a lot better than those 10, 20, 40 billions. And God forbid, trillions or quadrillions. Market cap is 52 million. Okay. Decent for small or and it was up to what, 245 was its all-time high 2 years ago. So it's been around a little bit, huh? I am looking for some potential. Man, I want those 25x coins. At least. I want at least a 10x. I mean, you should normally at least 5x your money in crypto. 5 to 10x. That should be pretty much standard for over a course of a couple years. But, you know, I want those bigger gains. And we know they're out there because they happen all the time. Pendle Finance. So this looks like it's going to be a DeFi play. assets at a discount. Pendle splits the yield from yield-bearing assets, giving you better prices than those on any exchanges. Long yield or hedge your yield exposure, the choice is yours. Yield tokenization. Split any yield-bearing asset into separate yield or principal components for maximum control. Lock Pendle for a stake with the protocol. Pendle, automatic market makers, designed for yield trading with concentrated liquidity, dual-free structure, and negligible. Oh gosh, what is that loss that we get with DeFi? My brain is not thinking of these terms right now. So negligible, those loss concerns. Oh man, what is that term? Why can I not think of that? It's when the two assets are, they're going at a different rates, so they're uneven. When you put them in at whatever price they are, and then those prices vary, you can get the losses. It's like not unrealized. It's gosh. Please don't let this be Alzheimer's. So it looks interesting. So we're starting to get out into some more advanced financial products, if you will. And I bet legacy market is just drooling over all this stuff, or the idea of this stuff, and just dying to do this kind of stuff themselves because they like to make these new financial products. So that's interesting. Okay. Well, thank you guys for being patient while we explored Pendle. Just one that has caught my eye recently, just for the strength that I've seen on how it's performed over the years. So when you get some huge drops, when you get some bearish momentum going in the market, when it looks like all hell should make it just fall apart, and then you take a look at the coins that are still holding up, still green, and have been up for a year, not really falling, that signs of strength. And there's a bunch of others that I want to take a look at too, but probably will not take a look at them all tonight, but we'll go over that one. Now I've got my eye on Wild. Trying to accumulate some of this, but I missed this. I think I got a little somewhere through 32 to 36 cents. I mean, tiny amounts. This is in my DGen portfolio. But what I like about it is a potential triple bottom, or you could see it as you could actually see it as an inverted head and shoulders. This shoulder is higher than this shoulder. Fits my qualifications. Got a solid neckline. And it's just come back for a pullback. So basically, we're in the same scenario that we're looking at on the other inverted head and shoulders. Draw a trend line right here, and we don't want to see that break. And if we stay above it, we're good. But this little guy could go to 89 cents and reached up to 64 cents. Looks like a couple of days ago. It was on a tear. It was hot. And now we're coming through a pullback. So, with Wild, it appears that we retested this 618, found a bounce there, and we're ready to rock and roll on this. There may be a chance to get into it about 44 cents. I think I do have a limit order somewhere around there, but I'm not so sure that it's going to really get filled. So maybe I'll get lucky. We'll have just a little bit more of a pullback, come back and revisit these areas. I'm definitely not going to chase after it, but I wish I had focused on trying to get into it a little bit earlier, especially over here about 25 cents. Because that is close to a 4x from there to the target that we got, about 3x. And this little guy I think it can do some damage. It's a gaming play, and I'm trying not to go too heavy into gaming coins, but you know, certain sectors of the crypto population really like gaming or have a lot of faith in gaming, and those are the people that will pump my bags. But I think it's got a good possibility to come back up to retest this area of resistance that it's had several times at 495. So definitely could be looking at a 10x there out of wild over time. And it is in an accumulation. So if technically anywhere between 23 to 50 cents is, you know, a decent place for a long-term hold for wild. Although I would rather get it closer to 25, 30 cents as I could get it. And maybe we'll get there. I don't know. I'm waiting to see. Checking over a few things real quick. VELO. Okay. When did I look at this? About a month ago, maybe? Let me clear that fib off so we can see what we got. It was doing this ascending triangle thing, which I didn't like because they usually break down. That they usually make falling wedges, and I believe that's what we were talking about there. It even broke down from that falling wedge. So never really got our buy from that. I mean, in these situations, and I do this too a lot, I'll buy at the bottom of the patterns. Doing it in this case, if you didn't have a stop loss, then you know you get to sit through drawdown for a little while. And since I've got $25 of this coin in one of my accounts, I think I did that. I think I bought here. Just taking that chance. But now we are actually kind of getting into... Now, see, we got this wedge here. We got this trend line here, but it doesn't really match up with this one, right? Now, when that happens, when you get a deviation like that, you can go to that second pump up and use that one. And it does play out. It does work out good. But you know, always want to respect the original one too, and just see what you got. That's just not enough touches for me right there. But we do have at least 3 on the bottom, quite a bit more, and at least 2 on top, so it does make it valid. So you could look at this different ways. I would look at it like this. I mean, this covers the parameters of this whole pattern. So once it breaks above this trend line, that would be your bullish move. And it may try to do that soon. It's showing some signs. It's showing a little bit of bullishness on the daily, a little bit, trying to. But I need to see it break out of this pattern, or at least get above that 200 moving average, especially on the daily. It is on the 4-hour. That was a good little signal right there. When 50 crossed 200, that it was going bullish. 100 crossed there, so it's got some bullish signs on the 4-hour. Bullish divergence here, showing up on the momentum wave. I'm liking that. I don't know if I have any available cash in that particular account that I bought it from to add to that position. Right now, I've just got a little small, tiny bag. And if I remember correctly, this is on optimism. So that's not you. VELO. No, am I correct on that? Oh, is that Stellar? That looks like Stellar. And okay, make sure I'm thinking about the right coin that I got into. I got into Velodrome. That's the one that's on Optimism. Shoot, I think I bought the wrong dang coin. Would not surprise me. See what Velocity. I think I did. I think I bought the wrong freaking coin. This is what I wanted to get into, and somehow I got into Velodrome Finance. At least it was a tiny amount. Not Web3, but Web3 Plus. Well, anyway, I do like the chart actually, because we are in a bottom accumulation pattern. Nice rounded bottom. Working on making another rounded bottom, if you want my opinion about that. That's usually what I see play out when we do this. And this could take a little while to play out. Definitely could take as long as it did over here, make an even Eve type bottom. But I think this is one to kind of look at there. All-time high on this one was 229. So if it's at this is it, 0.003 cents. Those are the gains I like. I like that. Dang, I did buy the wrong one. The one that I am in is this little guy, which has 1 billion. Circulating supply 271, market cap of 26. Did I mean that? This is the problem when you have too many coins in your DGen portfolio. It's hard to track them, and I need to break that habit. That's something I'm working on. I'm really wanting to consolidate my DGen bags. This is you're VELO too, man. And you've got to be, I would say, I don't even see you on here. How did you buy it then if it's not on here? It seems like I got mine at crypto.com. Okay, I have no idea where I even bought this thing. It had to be crypto.com. Had to be. But it is not showing up. Oh, Velodrome Finance right there. On MexC. Maybe, I don't remember buying it on MexC. But we can look at the chart on MexC. Not bad. It's going to have some little struggle getting above this point. So it's basically an accumulation, but it does need to get above 10 cents or 11.6 cents for me to feel very bearish of it. It looks like he's getting ready to try to do that. So guys, tell me, did you take advantage of the sale today when prices just dropped like crazy? Checking crypto bubbles here. Let's see what we got. Oh, daily looks nice for top 100 there. Oh, Shift is finally doing something. Checking out some of these micro capsies. DGen coins here because why not? So what I did on, well, my phone app anyway, I went through crypto bubbles and I went to the year today. And I just made a list of all these little guys that have been up for the year. Because I think your chances of finding a good project that is strong, well, these are going to be the ones. The ones that are showing some strength there. Cambria. And I just kind of like to browse through them and see what I'm seeing on the charts here. This is going through some accumulation. That one might be worth looking at. Big Data Protocol. Because it's already had its run up and I'm seeing some rounding there. Let's take a look at this little guy. So BDP. I'm not familiar with this one at all. It is on MexC. That's the futures. All right, so the daily on this guy, accumulation had its run up. I would give this one just a little bit more time for accumulation, but I do like that it rounded out there a little bit. Doing kind of a little falling wedge there. It's a good thing, but I don't see a breakout coming anytime soon. Now, if it gets above the 200, I would be looking at it, and it looks like it's trying to. So maybe one to put on the radar just to kind of check out. GNY. I think that's one that I was at. Oh, Trius is on this category, top 900? I didn't know Trius was down that low. Trius has been up. GNY. Let's find out a little bit about this one. Not offered very many places. Looks like a BSC coin, looks like. Spot on Bittrex. Well, I could only get it through PancakeSwap if I wanted it. Not seeing anything impressive here. So this one's got some more accumulation to go through. It's not looking as healthy as I'd hoped. Skip over that guy. Going up here to the 800s. Now, if you guys want me to take a look at anything, just put it in the chat. Be happy to do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to be running through some random crap. DSLA. I might have looked at that recently. That is one that has been on my radar, though. Let's take a look at DSLA. I do have some videos out about it. It'd be nice to do a little update on that. And I've got a little hodl bag set aside for that one. Rising bearish megaphone pattern there, broke to the downside. Remember, they don't really come down too far, usually. At first, anyway. We've held this area right here of resistance. We flipped that into support. And as long as we can hold that, we're denying good. Had a nice little kind of falling wedge pattern right here. Shallow one broke to the upside. And we're just kind of retesting this area, which is a 618. It's a little yellow line I got there. So we may be seeing price come back up, retest this trend line. However, the 50 is crossing the 100 on the moving averages, so maybe not. Maybe coming back down here to this area, 0.00137. And that would retest the 200 daily moving average. That is more likely to be what we see happen. DSLA maybe coming down just a little bit with their accumulation, trading sideways, and you can spend a little time before you get back into this one or get into it. So I think it's a good project. Just got a little time left to get into it, in my opinion. No need to rush here. Wing. I was in that a cycle ago. That one took a while. That was back when I was still kind of on my way into some green candles. Knockoff I find interesting. This one's been doing very well. Viot. Looks like we're going through some accumulation there on that guy. Oh, that looks choppy as all crap. Not messing with that. Dago looks kind of choppy. Down a little bit there. Well, I finally remembered to turn this little my little road on now. I've got that animated just for live streams. Oh, we're coming on my good part. Watch what happens. UFO. Yeah, off he goes. Just to give you guys a little bit of entertaining. Something to entertain you while I go over some very dull price action. Coming out to the 500 Phoenix. Little consolidation going on with Phoenix. It was up to 94 cents. Current price on it is what, 74? ARPA. Now someone was asking me about that one. That one did have a nice little run up and now it's come back for retracement. So about 45, 50 cents somewhere through there is probably where we're headed. It's at 53 cents right now. So just looking at this chart here, we may be flipping that area into support. Might be one to look at. I think this is DEX Tools. Not exactly sure what the token actually does, but I am a little bit familiar with DEX Tools. Recently came up to 69 cents, currently 53 cents. Getting a little pullback there. Could buy it cheaper over the next week or two, I believe. Just moving up the list here, top 300. There's Pendle, which we did look at. Look at that, 1,000% gains on the year. That one looks interesting. I need to make a note to put that on my whiteboard because I can't reach my whiteboard from where I'm at. You guys need a whiteboard. If you don't have one, pick one up. They will help you out, help you kind of organize your thoughts a little bit, organize your plans, throw up little things that you're trying to keep on your mind, like bullish divergence. One of my whiteboards does have a bullish divergence chart that I used to always have to look over to. I just left it up there. I think they even got mouse pads with that, the bullish and bearish divergence on it. Those kind of things are good to have. If nothing else, just print out one of the charts from Google bullish divergence and print one of those things out. That will help your trading a lot if you're not familiar with it. There is Wild. Wild is up 63%. GNS, did we look at that? Gains Network. Went to $11, currently at $4.50. Hit $11, when was that? February. So had its parabolic moved to the upside, down and sideways. What we see should be coming into accumulation, but it should be getting close. It's at 450 and it had let's see, should find some resistance about 413. Let's take a look at that guy. Gains Network, GNS. Finance would be a good place to look. Ooh, I don't like the way that look. Man, don't like it the way you're looking, man. You just go sit down. What up with you? Do something fun. See if we can find some more price action here. I can't see that you would be on MexC longer than Binance, but possibly. Definitely you are. Okay, got more price action. Went up before we did that. Now we're coming back to those same levels. So now this could happen. It could still come on down to retest this trend line. Touch there, touch there. could be in the cards. Or, well, you broke that area here, or it broke that area here. Sometimes I watch analysts on YouTube, and have you guys ever noticed this, that when they talk and they're talking to you about, you know, maybe you have a coin request or somebody has a coin request, and they're like, oh, and you were weak here, you just didn't have enough strength to make it up, you came back double bottom and then you fell. And I'm like, me? I did? I'm so sorry, I didn't know, I fucked it up. Excuse my language. It's just weird how a lot of people talk about, I guess that would be second person, how the price action is now, lack of the word coming to me, but humanized. What is the word I'm looking at? Where you put human traits onto an object. Man, I swear my brain is just getting where I can't recall stuff anymore. But that's a concern. It's got to break above 460. What is that? 460, 461. Get above that area before I can consider that maybe getting more bullish. So it's lost its support there for Gains Network. It could be coming down. Oh, Tyson Kane's in the house. Hey, welcome to the show, my man. Again, if you do have something you want me to take a look at, I'll be more than happy to do that. Otherwise, I'm just going over random crap. Things that catch my eye might catch my eye. And if I can remember some of the things that I've recently bought while these prices were down, we can go over some of that too. Decred was one of them that I did stock up on. AGIX, I bought some more AGIX. Because it got to a juicy spot. Binance is a good place to chart that one. Or used to be. Oh, they used to do to Bitcoin. That's right. They just recently started doing the Tether. So I guess KuCoin for looking at it against the dollar. Ooh, look at that messy chart. Parabolic rise, lost it, sideways and slowly down. Trading up here around 39.40 cents for the longest. Kind of a weird pattern there, and I targeted this zone. I was like, nope, we're going to lose it. We're coming down. Finally made it there. And I had this as our buy zone, came up, and then we had another buy zone, and it made it in there. It actually wicked all the way down to 24 cents. And I did have some buy orders stacked up there, like every penny, from 20 cents on up. I just pyramided them up, let it soak it up as it came down. May they call that a catching up all in knife, but a lot of times that's how I trade in my strategies, my accumulation strategies. Find out a zone, and then I'll stack orders, pyramid them up, and wait for it to fill. I dip in a candle into the wax, pull it out, and then we start going to higher ground, and then things work out. Doesn't always work out, but it is a strategy that I use a lot when I'm trying to accumulate something. Because I'm trying to get a bigger bag of this for when it goes to much higher prices. And let me clear this off so we can see this a little bit better. So in this rising channel, which needs to have another look taken of it, at it, because it looks like that we fell to the downside of it and trying to get back into it. Let's hope that we do. See, if this does fall to the downside, I will be accumulating more slowly. But I like AGX somewhere around a quarter. I think that's a decent area for it. To find support. I don't think that we will see it come back down to 5 to 8 cents again. That's where I got into it first. So I was looking at this guy back September and October and telling people, man, this is a good one to play. This is a good one to play to grow your Bitcoin. And so we've been following it on the channel here since then. So I played this one last cycle and I like it. I think this one's got potential. I like Ben Gertzel. And it looks like it's starting to get a little bit bullish here, but we got to see a little bit more out of this guy. But it is finding support here on the 200 daily moving average. 4 hours got a little bit of struggle ahead of it. But as soon as we see it break above this 200 moving average on the 4 hour, I feel a lot better about it. 50s is riding above that 100, just sailing right above it and not trying to just cross over it right now. Good sign. Could possibly get back in here and this could be a bear trap. Pushing us up to the upside, maybe back up to around the 32, 33, 34 cents. Eventually I do want to see it reach 37. And then I want to see us go up even more. Get back to the 42s. But right now we're looking at a possible bear trap. Let's hope that it is. If it's not, if it's a bearish retest, then boom, we're coming back down probably 20 cents next. Just saying. And that could happen. Actually, if you ask me right now in the 4 hour, I would say it looks more like a bearish retest than a bear trap. But all depends on what it does right here. This trend line, that 200 moving average. Tyson! Take a look at my account here and see what I've been doing some margin trading. So I've been doing some accumulation on some of those coins as they drop too. Quant, QNT, that's been doing better. So at 116 now, we got down to just $98 there. So trying to pick up some through there. And according to KuCoin margin trade, let's see, I'm up 27% on that. And I've even taken some profit on that. KuCoin unfortunately does not break down your trades as doesn't give you the tools that MexC gives. That's why MexC is really starting to win me over. I may slowly kind of gradually move stuff more over there because it's just easier to track. I think I've got like a $445 position, and I've been profiting $144 on this particular trade. And what I do when I'm using just margin, it's different from perpetual swaps, but I use that as a tool for accumulation because I want to try to get more quant. And that particular bag has 9 in it. And so I've made at least one extra. And sometimes I'll pull those out of that trade or just keep it running. AGIX, and we've already went over that. That's something that I bought while it was down. I also have a margin trade on that one. When I get the cameras turned back on and find a way to hook my phone up to the screen so I can show what I'm doing on my phone, because that's where I do have a lot of this stuff. What happened there, man? Speaking of trading, is this guy up and running? I need to check on these guys. Oh, Bitcoin come back down 26.9. Because I thought I had an open trade over here, and I don't mess with this one very often. So I do. Okay, it looks like I might have. Oh, I lost the last trade. When was that? 531. So looks like I lost that one. Don't like losing my Bitcoin. I don't check on this one or trade this very often. And actually that's kind of, that was a rough run right through there. Come on now. And this position is open. Yeah, I need to. So this one's up 13%. You have a stop loss there, right? Yeah, I need to manage this one. I've not been managing these well. I don't check on them very often. I'm doing a little bit of a different strategy. It's a long-term strategy with very low margin, but I've not been keeping up with this account lately, and it shows. So we need to put a stop loss. And I am good with taking that profit. Not very much, but it at least is something. Probably need to take a look at this account, see what's going on. Ooh, man, I wish they would let me put this into the dark, but they don't. This was an account that I did basically for this channel to kind of do live trades and things like that, and we just haven't been doing that, and I'm being kind of iffy about that. I don't mind doing live trades, but I don't want to put all my business out there too, especially since not knowing how the government is going to look at these things. It makes me a little nervous. However, after today's meeting, I feel a little bit better. I think we're on the right path. I need you to, go here, overview. So I threw like $2,000 into this back in October, November, somewhere through there. And currently we're sitting at 33. So it slowly went up. I think most of it went up on futures, man. I started out $200 on futures, and now I'm at $1,000. Although from the last few trades, you wouldn't have guessed, but it's been trading mostly small amounts, just really small amounts, and just not really micromanaging them at all. It's just throwing it out there and letting them play. Trying to put in my stop loss and trying to put in, targets and everything, and just setting it and forgetting. And I've got to say that's done better than me on the ones that I micromanage, like on my MexC account, because I blew that up several different times. It's not a lot smaller amount. I mean, we're talking about like a really small amount I'm trading with, but still, it seems I do better if I'm not always right on top of them, which is kind of contrary to what you want to do when you're trading futures, right? Margin account sitting at 1,200. See what I've got. Looks like did they change things, man? This just looks like a different layout. Managed to snag some XRP for free. I forgot how I did that. It was some kind of margin trade or something, but I was able to pull out that. So that's like a free bag. I'm keeping my moon bags over here, I think. Really need to pay more attention to this particular account and grow it. And let's go to the trading. Come on, man. The trading accounts. This is the main thing. Spot trading. $564 in there. Haven't done anything really here. I've set some things and they may have hit. Looks like I've got some orders in place there on Bitcoin and USDT. Just have like $70 there left to play with. I need to siphon this stuff off. Fort, I think, was the last thing that I got into. And I probably need to take a look at that one. That one looked like a very interesting play. I wanted to have a little taste of it, so I went through it over here. And margin account, what am I doing over here? I like margin. I think it's a good tool. And it's different from futures, a lot safer than futures. A lot harder to get liquidated, a lot easier to use it to accumulate. So that's... And I'm making a play basically between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I'm just, this is a long-term thing. I'm just playing those two off of each other on margin, just to slowly grow this bag. It's like a set and forget kind of thing. And I like that. And then I also have an isolated trade here. I need to pay a little bit more attention to it. My debt ratio is up to 73%. I like to keep that somewhere around 58 to 65. Liquidation price here is 20,000. So I'm sure this is down with our drop. But another way that I'm slowly accumulating some Bitcoin, because I just put $500 into these guys, right? I had $2,000 to divide among the whole thing. So, just some things I'm doing or have been doing that I probably need to pay a little bit more attention to. I've been spending a lot more time on my bigger accounts there. And moving things. You guys know I do like the Tangem wallet. Let me throw that little guy up there. Because I don't like the direction that I'm seeing things happen with wallets. You've seen that I've put out, about 3 wallet videos. One of them was, for Tangem, because they sent me a 3-pack of the wallet. Just to do a review on it. They were pleased with that video. And then 2 other situations that also let me talk about Tangem a little bit more, because it does have an extra layer of security, right? My big concern is like the Lazarus Group and other hackers out there in these other countries, these other governments, hacking these seed phrases, man, on software wallets. I think that we're going to see more of that. I don't think they're as safe as what they used to be anymore. So it's one thing. One problem is you got to hide your C phrase on your own securely, because you could come to a situation, where, that could be confiscated from you if you don't have it in a good place. It's a possible scenario, or someone find it. But the fact that the C phrases are on your phone, if you like the Exodus wallet and everything, and I use Exodus, right? I mean, there's a purpose, a reason to have those wallets. And I like them, and they're easy to use, but you don't want to keep a whole lot. You want to have something safe and secure in hardware storage, for your coins that you're trying to hold long term and hold your wealth in. I think Tangem's a good choice. Ledger is, and Trezor, they're both on some shaky ground there. And let's just say if the part of our faction of our government comes through that actually wants to go through and KYC wallets, because when you look at what happened today with SEC targeting Coinbase, when you pay attention to that, that's on the back burner. It's a side door that they've got to go to the Coinbase wallet for DeFi. They're making a play for DeFi through this case, through these allegations. And there's a lot of smoke and mirrors trying to throw your attention onto what they're calling securities and whatnot, and the allegations they're making to Coinbase. But if you read that closely, they're tying them violating security laws to that wallet, and they're trying to find a way to aim for that. So hopefully Congress will get their act together, and it sounds like they are, to put some proper legislation and kind of cut whatever faction of our government is making this attack on crypto, maybe throw a loop for them, because that's what they're trying to do. They're really trying to put the brakes on DeFi, in my personal opinion, and make you where you have to KYC your wallets. And I don't like that. It's another damn business. Tyson says, still got some Nexus, but mostly Atom staking. Actually, my Atom is staking technically on my Exodus wallet too. I've actually taken that seed phrase and I've got it applied to another wallet, and you can do that. That's one of the cool things you can do with seed phrases. It's not just for that particular wallet. You can put it on a total different wallet, and that may be a multi-chain wallet or have some other features on it. But I am trying to move, I got more on my Exodus wallet, or have had more on my Exodus wallet than I probably should have. So I'm slowly moving a lot of that to hardware storage. A lot of the things I'm not moving, that I'm keeping on exchanges and keeping on whatever wallet that I might have them on, like Ledger or even Exodus. And I don't think I have any on Exodus. Any of the ERC20 tokens, the Ethereum tokens that cost you an arm and a leg to move, yeah, those guys can stay there on the exchange, because I'm just looking at profiting from them anyways at some point. Definitely not wanting to pay $50 to move every coin. But yeah, I do still have some on Exodus, and I like the Exodus wallet. I like the software wallets, and they're good for DeFi. I think the key is just don't keep as much on there. Just keep as, if you're using it for DeFi, using it to, make life easier, to make little transactions here and there, send things to exchanges, maybe buy stuff, whatever. That's fine, but keep the majority of what you got on a secure hardware wallet. Whatever that you determine that to be. Like I said, I've got a Ledger and a Trezor. I don't use the Trezor anymore. Nothing wrong with it. I just, it's a little bit more of a hassle for me to use. Ledger I've gotten used to, but man, it's still a pain in the butt. And Tangem, I'm getting more and more used to that, and it is a lot easier to use. And you just got to find what works for you and what you feel comfortable with. But I don't like what they're doing with this firmware, and that really exposed that. That a subpoena, they're going to give that information right up. So all the government's got to do is just get a warrant or get a subpoena, and boom, your stuff will be gone. And there's part of our government that's, like I said, you can see it. They're against crypto. There's an agenda somewhere on certain parts. That's the nature of bureaucrats and how they operate. Unelected officials ended up having more power than the elected officials because they have tenure and very cushy, high-paying jobs. I know a little bit about the federal government. My wife actually works for the federal government. Oh gosh, and do we have some different ideologies on some things? Wow. Because when I start talking about what I see, she doesn't like to talk about that. She's got a little wokeness in her. And it's amazing. I mean, if we get along as well as we do, because I'm, the older I'm getting, the more conservative I am. God, family, and country. That's the main things. And she has those values too, but man, a lot of the things that we are privy to, just being in crypto and that we can see happening, I mean, everybody else is just whatever the news says, it must be true. So Q&T, it's got some promise, I believe. Flirting a little bit with that cloud there, but thank God it's finally doing something, man. It looked exciting for one to be in, when, especially, when it's about $100 and whatever. And that was a nice rise up to 160, but since then, in January, it's just been downhill. It's been disappointing. So I've been finagling this guy in and out, balancing things out, and I'm finally in a good position with it, but it's been a slow one. Another one, I got ACH and I've got AZERO. I haven't looked at AZERO in a while. Charting Crypto kind of turned me onto this one. And I like it. And we're down to just a little over $1, which is not a bad place for it, I don't think. Now, I've got some targets like 94 down to 81 cents. May hit this 94 cent area. Possible, the way I'm seeing it going right here on the 4 hour, but I don't know about getting this second target there. But parabolic move, then down and sideways. Kind of what we see, and then we're going to kind of bottom them out and slowly accumulate. But this is one that I kind of like. And Charting Crypto is very, he's really accumulating, this little guy. Total supply 333 million, circulating supply 230 million, market cap Market cap's a little bit up there right now at 240 million. Not high, but it's gaining traction. So people are buying this. With that low coin supply, this will bounce up so much quicker. That's why we like those coins with the low coin supply there. But interesting little project there. Oh, I did not go see what the highs were. We'll do that. AZERO knowledge scalable layer 1. Privacy enhancing blockchain ensures scalability, low transaction fee, instant finality, and optimal security. And I think they got some interesting partners, and rumors were something with Amazon. So just one maybe to keep your eyes on. And right around $1 is a decent price in my opinion. And all-time high was 3, so we could undoubtedly see at least a 3x out of this, possibly a lot more, especially if they're going to be doing some bigger things. But I do like those low circulating supply coins. But currently kind of in the following channel, maybe getting a partial decline here, maybe. Looking at, we still have to break above this area, so $1.08 is going to be an area to fight with. And also, yeah, this whole area right through here, right around where that 94 cent, there and above, I think would be a good accumulation area. That will come into the support area right here. But well, that's 99 cents. And my target's coming in right around here in this support area. That should have some good, strong support in that area there from the past. Just want to look at ACH. It's one that's kind of been kind of iffy. I'm slow for making a upside. Had some bearish divergence there. Shot us down. I expected it to maybe come down even lower out of that, but it decided to take that partial decline and just keep going up and then drop down. Now, I had a measure move from this pattern that it still has not met, but it did come down to 23.5 cents in that area to retest this other bottom area, so that was kind of cool. So my analysis on this has not played out, and it may not. And let's just take a zoom out and look overall, because this can actually be a lot more indicative, a lot more accurate when you zoom out and go by those patterns and see that rising wedge. It has a potential to come back down to the right, to the top of the wedge, or the start of the wedge, and that is close to my measured move there. But also, let's do an actual measured move. Hasn't quite hit that, but it may still. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that. That's about 22.5 cents right through there. What am I not doing right here? There we go. Measured move. So maybe 22.4 could be on the table, although, you know, maybe it's found support here and flip this area into resistance area into support, and it could be going up. Very possible. It's above the 9, so that's good. Just some ideas there. It's actually getting in a good zone to accumulate this, I believe. 21 to 24 cents, I think, is good. But I would like to see this start coming up to some higher prices. Come back around to about 45 cents, and that would make me feel better. Put me into more profit. Currently, I'm down on this one on my margin trade. But I had it sitting in my main wallet on KuCoin, just not doing anything. And I just finally started looking at some of those coins I'm trying to consolidate, and I was like, well, I can actually put these to work because they have leverage trading on it, have margin. So let's just see if we can grow these babies. So that's what I'm trying to do with several of those coins. Let's see, GMX is another one that I'm trying to build through margin. See if we can find you on KuCoin. Where are you? This is 100% right there with you. There's about the wallets, I believe, that we're talking about there. All right, well, it looks like we lost an area on that. Depending on how you want to define this, is this a open and broadening pattern? And we could maybe see $35? Maybe over time. I mean, on the daily, it's going to take it a while to get there, but looking at the moving averages and everything, that could be on the table. Somewhere between $35 to $38 on GMX. Yay. Well, I guess I gotta get ready for that. Oh, I can work with that. It's a small bag at the moment right now. Of course, now if we can come back up here and retest this 200 moving average, and which is also at the bottom of this trend line, about 61. Oh, that would give me a nice little play. Maybe even give me an opportunity to short it if we're able to do that. I think I'd like to do that. It comes up here, I like to turn it into short. Getting ready to go for a death cross here in a few days. 50 going across that 200, and then that will be a sign for some more downward action. Woo Network, that's another one that I'm messing with on the margin. Let me adjust my trend line here. See if we can make it line up just a little bit better there. That's candle body. And to candle body. That actually lines up pretty nice. Pretty nice. And we wicked below, so we may have found support there. Do have this rounding shape going on there, parabolic, a little bit of parabolic shape, kind of breaks out of it there a little bit, so it's not entirely accurate. That's why I like to draw these trend lines underneath it as my line in the sand. Woo looks like it could have a little bit more upside. It's going to struggle right now. Looks like it's got a little bit more downside action. 4 hours looking a little bit more promising. I don't see anything just fantastic about this, but I mean, it's it's still kind of an accumulation stage. Was looking at this inverted head and shoulder idea that did not play out, but it still could. It's not yet invalidated. But if we can get back up to this area about 28 cents, might have a chance to see a bigger move out of Woo, and that's what I'm kind of looking for. Then we got the old Doge chain, which has disappointed me yet again. The old Doge chain, which looks so promising, making this Adam and Eve. Now, this particular Adam and Eve did play out. It reached a move. Was hoping it would be making this bigger double bottom, which would give us a very nice run up eventually, but it didn't. It decided to come back down, retest these areas, and then it dropped below. That sucks. With the bullish divergence going on, and it fell. What the hell? Just to make it rhyme. But I've got to move down here 0.000598 as a very possible area to come back and retest. I hope it does not do that. Maybe it will get a little upswing here. Looks like it may be starting to bottom out, but I'm not finding a very solid point for that bottom with recent price history, meaning that we could be coming down to the 0.00035 area. Possible over time. It's like it would be a slow drawdown. Just just not seeing much very positive out of Doge or Doge chain. Now connecting that line, it does still kind of hold that area pretty well. So we can get a little bit more accurate on that. That actually touches there, touches there. And if I bring it up the candle bodies in this other area there, the wick does touch it. Not a solid top trend line there. That was actually the trend line. No volume there. Just kind of retesting that bottom trend line, man. Double bottom scenario did not play out. And I can definitely see us at least coming back down to this area. So Doge chain not looking so hot. Straga's in the house. Oh, see, he sees the alien. Oh, I need to turn him off. Put a different one on up there. I like the little alien dude. I think he's cute, man. I like to watch him dance. And just let my little automation play out, and he'll show up on there walking, hitchhiking a ride. I thought, man, I should be able to automate that. And now it's just the point to remember to throw it on there. Strigo, what's up, man? We're just kind of just hanging out, going over stuff. No big thing. Talking bad about the government. Or certain parts of the government. I was actually impressed today with the CFTC agriculture here, and that sounds so weird to point that with crypto, but they are the ones over commodities, wheat, cows, all that cattle, all the other stuff, and that's where crypto falls. According to them, you know, there's a lot of crypto out there that is commodities, and Congress is finally starting to make some headway going in finally the right direction for some regulation. And they actually had good ideas and things that we need, recognizing that something can start out as a security and then turn into a commodity. Very important. Recognizing the point to leave the spaces open, not to try to define it, what areas or categories for crypto, because it's opening a lot of avenues in a lot of areas. So just don't box it in. So, I mean, it's obvious that they've been doing their homework over these past couple years anyway, and changing and realizing just how valuable this is and what we're missing out on. And the testimony before it was saying the same thing for some former CFTC people. So I think we're taking a step in the right direction, and they don't like Gary. I'm still looking at that Pendle thing. Pendle's one I got my eye on. Still trying to learn something about it. I want to check out Numbers Protocol. Ooh. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not an impressive price action there. Because usually you just kind of see these things, excuse me, spike up and then kind of accumulate and go sideways and stuff for a while, and then we'll get this again and spike up. Not seeing anything that's impressing me for a big short-term move on Numbers Protocol at the moment. It's accumulation. And that's cool. This is where the whales buy, in these rounded bottoms or flat bottoms that occur over a long period of time. That's where the big money's coming in and just slowly accumulating. Not a bad idea for us to do that too. So if it does come back down to 0.3 cents even, maybe down to 2.5 cents, good time to grab a Numbers Protocol, because it can definitely make some moves. You can see that from here at 2.6 cents I mean, that's a nice little 3x right there, or 4x maybe, 300% return. I like it. It just takes a while. You may have to go through something like this before you get those spikes up. But accumulation. Striggerheart says, Pendle, yeet. So I just found out about Pendle. Numbers ain't doing much, no. And what exchange is it on? Pendle? Where did we see that? I come across it because I was looking at the strong coins that have been holding up really good for the year. And we did go over it earlier, but I can't remember what exchange it was. And we did look, and I forgot. It wasn't very many. Oh, it is on MexC. That's cool. Okay, cool. I like that. But 231 million. Market cap of 51 million. Circling supply 96 million. Interesting. Tyson says FTX trial starts in October, and I pray Gary will have to answer some questions about his meeting with SBF. That would be satisfying, wouldn't it? Of course, I don't think he'd be honest. But, goodness. Yeah. It doesn't make him look that good. But he's weaselly enough to get out of it, I think. I mean, he's got Warren on his side, Senator Warren. She's just as slimy, in my opinion. I'm sure they can pull some strings to make things not come up. Because we got that in our government now. And hopefully they'll flush that out over the next few years. If we can get the right people in there. But we just let bureaucrats get too much power. We'll let lobbyists get too much power. We'll let corporations get too much power. Corporations are helping to run our government now, in my opinion. And have been for a while. And I was very disappointed to find out that corporate entities, the corporate personhood, has more rights than we do as humans, and that's wrong. That's given them this upper edge and all this power because their incorporation personhood status has more rights than we do as the human people here in this country. That's disgusting to me. I'm all for incorporation and things like that, but no company should ever be worth more than the people that make up that company, or even any person. That is just corruption at its finest right there, to pull that sneaky crap in the law. So overall, been a nice little day there for, bounce backs, I guess. Oh, waves. I'm waiting for that one to melt faces. But, man, don't see it happening yet. Like to see that sucker go back up to $9, though. Cake is down 162. Still having a hard time there. Striga says, I'm sure there'll be something. Gary got paid off. Nice. Isn't it crazy how just how rich our federal employees are, and our federal bureaucrats, how rich that they get? Isn't that just crazy? Man, if I could go back in time, shoot, I would have been trying to line up a job for the federal government from the get-go if I were smart, because you're set. You're just saying, you get a job with the federal government, I mean, you're going to be taken care of. Sugar says, yes, like the trust in the 1930s. This country. Tau. I like Tau. I have trouble with this one, and I think it has to do with VPNs or something. Because sometimes I'm not able to pull it up as being tradable. So interesting. Apparently, possibly in that security category. I thought it was a mining thing though, right? Or am I getting that confused with something else? I thought BitTensor was an actual mining proof of work AI play. I'm pretty sure it is. Hold your eyes. Hold your eyes. Guess we have to go to the white paper. Machine intelligence. Oh man, that's
Too bright. Too bright. Bright light.
all right, dude. Come on. Open source protocol utilizes blockchain technology to create a decentralized machine learning network. So, is it POS or is it POW? Because for some reason I'm thinking this goes to POW, but I may be getting it confused with something else. But that was one of the things I thought that I really, really liked about it. But definitely went on my radar. Got up to $107. It hasn't been around very long at all. Got as low as I think, what, $30? I thought it got down to 20. I thought it got down to 23 actually. It may got lower than that on KuCoin. Down to $30, and it's currently at back up to 52. 21 million. I like it. Gala's 2 cents. Gala's been struggling, hasn't it? Wow, yeah, 2.7 cents. So it has fallen. Looking in that ascending triangle there, which, you know, they do work to the downside a lot, and then it makes a falling wedge. So now it's at least starting to look a little bit more bullish, and it's in a bigger falling wedge pattern, but oh, did it come down to hit our target? 2.5 cents. Cool. I like it when targets get hit. It makes me feel like hey, this analysis stuff, it works out pretty good. And it does, man. Learning TA, and I stayed far away from it for years and years, thinking, oh my God, this gives me a headache to even look at and think about it. It's not, it's actually fun. It's got to look at it as a puzzle or as a game, and it's really interesting. But once you get the basics down, and there's several different systems you can go with, and pattern trading is just awesome to me because it gives you actual lines in the sand and actual targets and things like that. And we're not thinking, well, this wave could do this and this could, you know, we're not going through all this, you know, speculation stuff as much. I like the patterns. I like the patterns a lot. Patterns and indicators. And sometimes, if I ever think about it, I'll draw out Elliott wave stuff. I'm not a big Elliott wave guy or an Elliott wave expert. It's not my preferred thing. But I mean, you know, you got 5 waves up, 3 ways, correction, and another 5 ways either up or down, whatever you're doing there, is the basic gist of it. But a lot of times I honestly don't even think about that. Just the patterns are enough. It incorporates all that stuff. But currently the falling wedge for Gala, just accumulation, man. Accumulation. And another target that we may reach, 2.1 cents. I don't know. It could. It would have to be really lackluster sideways trading and just slow drain down. But it did make a lower low. We can definitely see this area right over here. What is that? Well, that's where we're at now, 2.5 cents. Hopefully things will turn around a little bit, but man, got that death cross which is not as terrible as it sounds, but we need to see it go the other way. Still holding out on time. Once you get the basic down, SEC goes ham on everything. Ain't that the truth? TA is what got me involved in the first place. TA is awesome, man. And then once you get these basics down, and then you can start watching these other guys, these YouTubers or whatever. And sometimes you can catch them being sloppy. You can catch them just making up shit. I mean, there's one that I watch because, well, he came from the same trading group that I did. So I mean, I actually know when he started learning and what he could do before his 15 years of experience or whatever. But it's interesting just to see some of the things he throws out there, dude. I mean, it's just sloppy. It's just not I mean, every pattern does not break up or down 68% of the time. Every pattern does not have a 68% chance to reach its goal. I'm sorry, that tells me you did not spend very much time studying patterns. And you don't have to spend, hours and hours, but I mean, if you actually go over these things and actually read about them, you can understand what's really going on. Bukowski breaks this stuff down for you. He actually, this dude's a math dude, all right? Software engineer. This dude retired in his 30s from trading. He put his money where his mouth is. And he's dude, he's put all this stuff out there for free. For free. He's not charging $99 a month for to give you guesswork. He's got the statistics up there and it's for free. It's very accurate. Bukowski's the man. And Bukowski will teach you everything you need to know. But anyway, you can kind of catch these guys and some of the things that they say. I know this particular guy I'm watching now has been playing around with leverage trading. Claimed to start out with $800. I saw it at $1,000. Saw it drop. And then I just see him add more money. I had another $1,000. Doesn't talk about that anymore. But he's basically lost all that money, but he doesn't talk about it. He only wants to talk about the ones that he wins. And then he gets all excited. And we'll see him go in there on a trade. He'll go with these crazy stop losses that are like 23% or something like that. And you're doing leverage, man. Come on. You don't do it that way, man. So you can watch how they trade and tell whether they're really traders or they're really just making their money from a trading group and YouTube. And, some of those guys out there, they're more hodlers than traders. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just come out and say it. Just say it, man. Don't claim to trade your way to $1 million when it was really a trading group that got you to that level, an income stream that got you to that level, because it dang sure wasn't those 3% profits that I see you get scared and start sweating on a leverage trade. I can tell right now, you didn't make that money trading, dude. Just be honest. There's nothing wrong with making it hodling. I do that too. It's a good strategy. But I'm not going to come out here and I'm a professional trader. Been doing this. You should listen to me because I've been doing this for 15 years. Now it looks like a cup of nanny. That's misleading to me. I can't stand for that. I don't think I think it's an ego thing. I don't think it's really trying to be malevolent. I just think it's an ego thing and some kind of finding acceptance thing. My advice is get good. That's the best advice. And a dartboard. That is funny, a dartboard. Man, I'm telling you, sometimes it's hard to pick out some of sometimes you just don't know what's going to pop off, right? Luck is part of the equation, unfortunately. But learning TA, man, that was the game changer. And I avoided it for so long. And I knew basics, I remember learning Head and Shoulders, one of the first patterns that I learned. And the way it was explained to me, I really started paying attention to that. So now I'm kind of a stickler on that. I'm big on that neckline, and that right shoulder needs to be lower than that left shoulder, or however you're looking at it, inverted or regular. There's some little things I'm kind of picky on because, you know, I watched them for so long, and, you know, I made those same mistakes I see a lot of people making now, you know, where something just, you know, those three humps does not a head and shoulders make. You know, there's some important things you got to have, like those necklines. It makes a difference. I don't know. I just think some YouTubers there's some really good ones out there. There are. And there's good ones out there willing to help people and come on here and do this stuff for free. More power to them. Love that. Want to see more, but there's some they're just trying to capitalize on it. And they're, a lot of times, you know, they're not very well versed or haven't been at trading as long as they claim anyway. They don't have the experience. They have the resume effect, I think. You know, the fake it till you make it. Oh, a resume, you know, you make yourself look a lot better than you are. Then when you get on the job, the boss is like, I thought you were an expert at this, dude. Why are we having to train you? What's up? Just don't fart throwing a dart. That is sound advice if I've ever heard it. That should go on a t-shirt. I feel like that needs recognition. That is true wisdom. Striking a man. don't let it be too solid. Ah, you're killing me. You're killing me. That's funny. Hilarious. Man, I'm kind of digging this song. It reminds me of Chris Isaac, Wicked Games, for some reason. Ooh. Ah, Grizz is in the house. Grizz, my man. What a wicked game to play to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do to make me dream of you and I like this. I like the music. So my music comes from Epidemic Sounds, man. It's kind of cool. And sometimes they will get some music that sounds similar to some songs. I found some that sound a little like AC/DC. They actually have some pretty decent music there. All right, guys, I have nothing else to look at. So if you guys want me to take a look at something, I'm happy here. We can just sit here and chat a little bit. It is, wow, is it really 1:10? We've been on here 2 hours? Nobody is going to want to watch this stream for 2 hours. Wow, okay. Maybe wrapping it up soon. We've been on here a little while. It's easy to lose track. Charts are fun. Charts will suck you in and steal your life, man. It will drag you into the matrix, and you will just be staring at that screen, hypnotized all day long, watching that little bar go up and down, especially if you do it on the 1 minute. One of these streams, I want to get back on here and trade this 1 minute. Because sometimes that's kind of fun. Muro Clock. Oh, sorry, said I'll watch it. Really? You guys would spend watching 2 hours? Watching on double speed? TA Rabbit Hole. Man, it will drag you in there. It will. But T8 is great, man. I like it. It has just really been a life changer for me. I just keep saying I can't believe I put it off for so long. But it opens your eyes to a lot of stuff. And like I said, you can see who's bullshitting and who's not. If you're familiar with it. Call them out, though, and they will kick you off calling you being negative. All right, so I've looked at Gala. We looked at a lot of stuff, man. Dogecoin's dropped a little Dogecoin fell to what, 6.3 today? Oh. Where'd my music go? Don't leave me hanging with that cool song, man. There we go. All right, guys, I think I am going to call it a night. I appreciate you guys for being here. But I'm out of things to go over right now. Litecoin. Looks like it's getting a little nice bounce back there. Let's hope it continues. But, you know, we looked at the total 2 and total 3. Total 3 looks promising. Total 2 looks still looks a little iffy. So curious how that's going to come out. Bitcoin Dominance did look like it looks like it's wanting to move up, man. But, you know, it can do a bearish retest, man. We really need to see Bitcoin Dominance just come down. But when we zoom down on the weekly, you know, there's a chance that it could. So that's what we're hoping for. Find rejection here, come down, and then maybe you see some good moves out of our altcoins, because, man, really isn't it about time? I'm tired of holding, man. I'm ready to start taking some profit on some of these position trades I've got. I'm starting to lose my patience just a little bit. Chris says, Kava. You know, I have no Kava. I have way too many things I'm trying to get rid of. But don't think I haven't been looking at Kava, being tempted by Kava. There we go. There's our price action. Take a look at this guy on. Come on back, man. What happened? Okay. I guess we'll go with 4 hour. Well, I just see accumulation there right around 81 cents. Had for a while. Bumped up. Looks good right now. Above the 200 on the 4 hour. I go to the daily. Oh, the daily's not giving me anything, man. What's up with this? It's flat on the daily. Stretch it open. Now we're getting somewhere. That was weird. It normally just fixes itself, you know? Same thing with the MACD here. Wow. Really compressed. Falling wedge. A little bit of a steeper one. No volume. Well, it actually did have a little bit of volume on the breakout. Sideways right now. Kava. I'd been in it on the last bull market, and I got in for a little bit, and it was such a slow mover, and a lot of other things really outperformed it. And you just kind of see that happen a lot, but it does have promise. It's above the 200 on the daily. Looks good, actually. It looks poised to move up. Moving averages look good. BMC looks good. It looks like it's getting ready to bump, and I've got next target about 136. 163 and up to 190. I don't see any reason why we possibly couldn't make it up here to 163 at least. That would kind of go in line with these trend lines there. Anyway, see there, that wick, they touch. So maybe you could make it over there. 155, 163 is the actual target that I got there. This little zone here. I could see that happening. Could have a kind of a double bottom there. Of course, it could also be making a bigger shape here too, so that's a possibility. But right now, with it being above the 200, that looks promising. Being above the 9, is it above the 9? I mean, it's above it, but we got a bearish cross there. We just got to see that 9 just cross back up above it, and it looks like it will. Moving averages look like they're starting to sort out really nice. Just a little slow. That's it. Just a little slow. I want to know what the circulating supply is on Kava, because that may have a lot to do with this. That's not bad though. Wow, I would really expect a little bit more price action for that. But look at that market cap, 669 million for this. So it's actually got a pretty nice market cap for its supply. It really does. And I think that's what kind of slows it down just a little bit too. But it looks like from here, get a nice 36% gain. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night on that. And thank you guys for showing up and participating and just hanging out with me, man. I appreciate that. Couldn't have a channel without you guys. And I have really no cool... Well, yeah, no, do I? I need to get a little bit more savvy at this. All right, guys, calling it a night. I'm going to leave you with Operation Orange as my outro. You guys take care, and I want to try to stream a little bit more this week. Trying to develop a little bit, be a little bit more consistent in it. Not there yet, so bear with me. But I am trying to do a little bit more streams. All right, catch you next time. Hopefully in a day or two, or a night or two, we'll be back on again. But take care.
Launch sequence activated.